Happy Friday, powerful leaders. I hope your week was fantastic. Mine is great. I was featured in about three different podcasts just this week, and the energy is just palpable. And I love to celebrate all these wins. And today's guest, oh my gosh, she has a special place in my heart. She radiates this beautiful energy of love and safety. And she is an energetic business mastery coach. And her unique business strategy is called money breathwork. I call her the breathwork queen because she really has been the person who introduced to me what breath work is all about and the amazing benefits of just breathing every single day. Even if it's for 5 minutes, it makes such a difference in your physiology, in your energy, in your mindset, and how you actually approach life and approach the challenges. And yeah, like if you have a chance to meet her, talk to her, get in her group, you're gonna love it. I guarantee it. So, as always, if you love this episode and you enjoyed it, leave a review on the podcast, on Apple Podcasts. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to, become a supporter of the show. I love to see your comments, see your interaction. It means the world to me. So, without further ado, let's hit it. Welcome to the Powerful Female Leaders Podcast. I'm your host, Anna Patricia Bourgeois, certified business coach. I am here to help you up-level, generate consistent wealth, increase your confidence, attract dream clients, and master your mindset so that you can fully own your power and achieve next level results in your online business and beyond. Every week, a powerful conversation will take place with amazing guests, or I'll share from my experience to help inspire you to start and scale the business of your dreams while being powerfully you. The time has come to stop playing small, stop hiding, and stop waiting. Now is the perfect time for you to passionately pursue your heart's desire as the powerful leader you were born to be. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Female Leaders Podcast. I am here today with Alessandra. Hey, girl.
Hello.
I'm so excited you're here. Oh my gosh, like I've been following you for so long now, and I've been in your free containers and I've tried all your breath works and I love them all. And you're just an amazing person. So I'm really excited for you to be here today.
Oh, thank you. I am equally as excited. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So share with us who you are, what you do, and what got you into what it is that you do.
Yes. So I'm Alessandra Caprice. I am the founder of Money Breathwork, and I have kind of gone through quite the different iterations of
Yeah.
business over the last, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, right? I was a therapist before this. So my background is actually as a master's in social work. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was a therapist, and then I moved online. I was a life coach, and then I moved into business coaching, which
Mm-hmm.
I was at for quite some time. And I always felt like there was something missing. Obviously, being a therapist, I had my background really deeply in the mindset work and
Mm-hmm.
doing that work. So a lot of the work I did with my business strategy clients was
Mm-hmm.
mindset, but I just felt like something was missing constantly. I'm like, oh, my clients are getting good results, but I just honestly just felt like something was missing for me in the way that I wanted to do the work. And then
Mm-hmm.
also I just thought, I really feel like there's a better way, or at least for me, a better way of getting
Mm-hmm.
results, keeping results. And sustaining,
Mm-hmm.
like, and growing a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, my story was, or is, it's not was, it's still my story. Um, but I had great success, right? Like I had grown my business to six figures
Mm-hmm.
first year or two of my business, and then it kind of petered out. Then I would grow it back up again, to six figures again. Then it kind of would peter out. I'd be like in this month where I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills. And I'm like, how
Mm.
is this possible? How can I have, quote unquote success, be in that top tier of female entrepreneurs at six figures? And yet now I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I pay my bills? Like, how did that happen? Right. And
Yeah.
so, I was at kind of my third dip, right? I was at this
Mm.
point, it was actually last year, about a year and a half ago now. And I was looking around like, okay, I have a lot of success. I know what I'm doing, but why can't I keep the success? Why can't I hold the money? Why can't I sustain this growth? Because
Mm.
it kept going up, hitting a ceiling, going back down, up, hitting a ceiling, coming back down, right? And I had become certified as a breathwork facilitator. And I'd been using it with my clients and they were starting to see better and better results. And I had always known that I wanted to do breath work with money. But
Mhm.
I was in this roller coaster. So I'm like, oh, am I supposed to be the person that does this with money? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I made this commitment about a year and a half ago. Like, I'm going to use this for money, just for myself.
Mhm.
I'm going to start using breath work for money and really allowing my body to feel safe in expansion, to hold money,
Mm.
to unearth those limiting beliefs. Like no matter how much mindset work or journaling or affirmations
Mm.
I did, because every time between those dips, I would do it. I would wake up early. I would do my meditating, visualizing, you know,
Mhm.
journaling, all the things. And so I did it for myself, and I started, magnetizing more clients and more money. And then I
Mhm.
started doing it with them, and they started just exponential results, right? And so that's kind of where the founding of Money Breathwork came. I started with a program called Money Magnet, which was all about money. And then it's really
Mhm.
expanded to just all the things that
Mhm.
lead you to money. Like I have a program called Being Big that's all about your limiting beliefs. So we like your armors of smallness and those leading you to creating success and creating money in your business, right? And so it's not
Mm.
just about the money work, like, the relationship with money, but it's really about your relationship with yourself, your limiting
Mm.
beliefs. I mean, the amount of times people are like, I didn't know that I'd have to heal the relationship with my dad in order to create money. I'm like, yep, that's how it works sometimes, but breath work brings you there. Whereas, we just scratch the surface when we journal. I love journaling, don't get me wrong. And I love affirmation work and I love like doing that work, but I really just feel like it scratches the surface. And so breath work
Mm.
drops us deeper and deeper really every time.
Yeah. So why do you think it is so special and so deep? Like scientifically speaking, like is there like a connection with
Yeah.
that deepness?
Yeah, yeah. So what it does, because we do this breathing,
Yeah.
deep breathing, it's a lot of people are asking like, well, what is paying attention to your breath? I'm like, it's not paying attention to your breath. It's literally transformational breathing. It's like you sustain this breath.
Mhm.
For anyone who's listening that doesn't know, I mean, we have multiple types of breath. You've tried them. We have integrative. We've
Mhm.
got shorter ones. But the longer ones, especially the shorter ones do it as well, but
Mhm.
the longer ones, especially when you're sustaining this breath for a long period of time, it
Mm.
actually changes the chemistry in your body. So you're actually
Mm.
breathing in more oxygen, breathing out more CO2. And what that does is it alkalizes your body. And when we are more alkaline, we are actually more susceptible to breakthrough. We are actually more susceptible to
Mm.
receiving the messages that we're meant to receive. It also, you know, I don't want to say when it cuts off oxygen to your brain, because obviously we get oxygen to our brain, but it limits it. And so what
Mhm.
that does is it actually unhooks you from your brain and moves you into your body. And so that's why, at the first, you've done it
Mhm.
before, but that first kind of
Yeah.
8 to 10 minutes is kind of hard, right? You're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, your brain's trying to talk you out of it. Like your brain's like, no, 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 don't unhook for me. And then you just drop into your body and it gets so much easier. And our body holds that wisdom, and our brain, bless its heart,
Mhm.
wants to keep us safe. It only operates based on the programs that the body is actually feeding it, which is why we need to actually go into the body to
Mhm.
recode and then body up inform our mind. No, these are the things that we need to believe. No, these are the things that we need to
Mm.
believe are safe, and we can expand and all the things, like, because your brain is part of the nervous system, right? But
Yeah.
it's when we go brain down,
Mm.
is when we let our brain lead us where, and if we're just like in that level, it just isn't
Mm.
enough, right? Like, and the
Yeah.
thing is like, you can grow with mindset work. Obviously, like, there's plenty of
Mhm.
people who have proven that, like, there is that potential when you do it sustained and you do it for hours and you keep going, right? Like,
Mm.
it does bring success. But I honestly believe, even with the people that, are making millions of dollars and they're like sore about mindset, I'm like, you could probably make more. Like, I always believe that.
Mm.
I'm like, if you did breath work, you'd probably make more. Actually, probably, definitely. So that's my belief.
Yeah. So I'm thinking about like the people listening and like obviously everything sounds amazing, but then it's like what is the relationship to the money in itself? Like how does it actually attract the money when you do breath work?
Yeah. So, one, it's like magic. One, I know we don't want to hear that, but I swear I've done breath work. I'll do a breath work and people will pay me during my breath work. It just
Yeah.
happens. But I really believe there's a frequency. So the breath work drops us into the frequency of
Yeah.
receiving, and really allows ourselves to open up
Mhm.
to receiving and being safe to receive. And so
Mm.
money is obviously a frequency as well. And so when it's like, oh, she's opening up, oh, she feels safe to receive me, it wants to come, right?
Mm.
And so with
Yeah.
breath work, we raise our frequency, especially money breath work. Obviously, like, you can do breath work on multiple different topics. You can just do generic breath work and you're still going to get
Mhm.
amazing benefits. But with
Mhm.
money breath work, because we set the intention, I have a story, really briefly, that
Mhm.
I started doing breath work at night. And I had a baby about 10, I don't know where 11, 12 weeks ago, maybe. I don't know where we are with that.
Already? Wow,
Yeah,
time
it's gone by
flies.
really, really fast. I know. But I used to wake up and do breath work, but because of a newborn,
Mhm.
our schedules are so weird. I'm waking up at 1 a.m., 3 a.m. all the time. And so I just couldn't do it in the morning. It just didn't feel
Yeah.
right. Now I've started to do a little bit in the morning, when I kind of hand her off. But I started doing it at night when I was falling asleep. And
Mhm.
when I first started, I actually just did breath work. Like, I just would do the breath work with my breath, not listening to
Mhm.
anything, just like falling asleep. And I said, you know what? I actually made a breath work for bedtime. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do that. It's in my program, the upgrade code. So it's all about like upgrading while you're sleeping.
Mhm.
And so I was like, I'm going to listen to that breath work, or I'm going to do the breath work. Right. And so I listened to that. I started breathing with that breath work with the intention, right? That is part of our money
Mhm.
breath work. It's part of opening yourself up to upgrading, to receiving money, to receiving clients, all the things. And I got cold. And one of the things that, and I had never gotten cold the last, 4 or 5 nights that I had been doing this, like, started to
Mhm.
create this habit of breath work before bed. I just kind of did it and was like, great, I'm going to sleep. But I did it with this recording and I got cold. And what I tell people when they get cold is that there's something that you're afraid of. And I heard
Mm.
this from an amazing author, Gay Hendricks. He writes The Big Leap. In one of his books, I think it
Mhm.
was just a random book, because I've listened to all of his books. I love him. But he's a therapist, and he would have clients that would get cold, and
Mhm.
he would always ask them, "What are you afraid of?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we get cold in breath work all the time." And so I put that together, that when we get cold during breath work, it
Mm.
means you're kind of budding up something that is scary. And I thought, oh my gosh, the first time I did this breath work, before bed, I get cold. And so clearly there was this fear of upgrading,
Mm.
fear of getting big, fear of
Mm.
expanding. Yet
Yeah.
I did not receive that information. My body did not go there just with doing breath work. You hear what I'm saying? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And so it was with that intention that we do in money breath work. Yes, that was an example of the upgrade codes, but we have this in, all the money, all the other stuff.
Mhm.
When we add this intention, it literally drops you into that frequency of that intention. So the intention of expanding, intention of, you know, creating money, receiving money, being open to money,
Mm.
the intention of selling, your programs and services, the intention of being fully expressed. These are all things that we do breath
Mm.
work on within
Mhm.
money breath work. And so there is a distinct difference. And I didn't know I was doing an experiment at that point, which is funny because I'm like the money breathwork person and I wasn't doing money breathwork. But I was like, oh, I'm so glad that I did this because I physically
Yeah.
felt it. It
Oh,
was like,
wow.
oh, there is a difference when you do it with this intention. When you do my breathworks, there is a
Mm.
difference than if you were to just, breathe, honestly.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's amazing. I
Yeah.
love that you shared that one. Yeah. So what would you say? Like, I know a lot of women like are highly driven, ambitious, and they've taught to like go, 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 do all the things and show up and post and go live and do all the things. And then like what would you tell them if they're listening to this and they're like, but I still need to show up, I still need to do the things?
Of
So
course.
like, do you do the breath work like every day, like just focus on that, or do you keep showing up? Like, what would you tell them?
So the breath work that I do is very unique in the
Yeah.
sense that we have I kind of have a quote unquote system
Yeah.
within the breath work. And the system is to go through these kind of different phases, which
Yeah.
is one is to acknowledge what is holding you back, what's
Mhm.
there, go deeper than you ever could in journaling, like really drop in and say, okay, what's holding me back, then heal and release it and give it
Mm.
that space to let go of, then expand, right? Expanding into that
Mhm.
next level, find safety. And then I end every single breath work with, what are you going to do next?
Mm.
Because you've got to when you take action from, say
Mhm.
you didn't do the breath work and you were out
Mhm.
to go write a post,
Yeah.
or you were going to go live, or right, the action really is coming from your brain, which, don't get me wrong, once again, I love our brains. Our brains are amazing, right? They come up with great ideas. They are geniuses. But when we're just coming from the brain
Mm.
itself, there's going to be a lot of what you just said right there. I should do this. I should go live. I
Mm.
should do like and all the energy that comes with should. And
Mm.
so when we just do it with the, before the breath work, then I mean, I'm not going to say your content's not going to be good. I'm sure it's still going to be good. It's still going
Mhm.
to magnetize some people or people, right? But if it's falling flat, or if you're not getting the energy that you want, then I would try
Mhm.
this for sure. But going through any of our money breath works,
Mhm.
depending on what you're wanting to do, we have, like I have with sales, the bigness, the money, all those kinds, it just depends. And at the end of every single one, I end with, okay, what is that action you're going to take? And so
Mm.
I really invite people to trust whatever action comes through. Like one of my clients was like, my action came through was to take a bath. And I'm like, you never know. You never know what big idea is going to come through when you take that bath, right?
Yeah.
And, but when you start listening to that
Mhm.
comes through for a reason. And so
Mm.
when those actions now are filtered
Mhm.
through the body and what is actually more aligned for you,
Mm.
and so the actions you take are just more powerful. Like the
Mm.
words that you say are set at this frequency that is, more magnetic. It's more authentically you versus coming
Mm.
straight from the head. So, yes, you have to take action, right? You cannot just do breath work and just hope for the best. Like, as all manifestation work is. Like, I just feel
Mhm.
like breath work is the most powerful manifestation tool out there because
Mm.
of what I just said. It drops you into your deepest authenticity. And when you're
Yeah.
moving from that place, when you're creating programs from that place, when you're selling from that place, when you're creating content from that place, that is when you are
Mm.
going to actually magnetize the right people versus maybe
Mm.
before you magnetized some people, but they
Yeah.
just weren't aligned, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. This is so good. So I know your clients have had amazing results. So I want you to share like a result or two from one of your clients that really like struck you and you want to share with us, with your
Well,
audience.
I want to say this. I
Yeah.
have clients that, one client just had a 75K month. I have
Wow.
one, and that's
Yeah.
like, huge, right? And then I have another client who's had a 1K, 2K month, and that's huge, right? For
Yeah.
her. And so I want to first say that
Mhm.
because of the modality, right?
Mhm.
Because of the way that I structure this
Mhm.
work, anyone at any level can come in and it will expand them into their next level. Like whether
Mm.
you're coming in from 0 and you're like, I want to get to that 1K a month, I want to get 2K, 3K, whatever that looks like, you can do the same breath work as someone who's coming in and is making $75,000 a month and get expanded. Both of you are
Mhm.
going to receive exactly what you're meant to receive because
Mm.
of the nature of breath work. It drops you into yourself. Yes, I am the facilitator and I take you through a journey, but it's so personalized that
Mm.
that it works for everyone, right? Like
Yeah.
no matter where you are. So I just want to say that first and foremost. I mean, I have
Yeah.
had clients, like I said, clients come in and make their money back within an hour. I've had clients come back in and make their money back within 2 weeks.
Mhm.
I've had, money coming out of just nowhere, clients signing up. I mean, people are putting
Mhm.
out offers and within, minutes people are signing up because they just did one
Mhm.
of our breathworks and sales alchemy. And it's just like, I always keep saying like, I can't make this stuff up, right? Like my screenshots, if you want to go see screenshots, you can, I can send you to my testimonial page, right? It's like,
Mhm.
I've never honestly, like in my 7 years of working online as a coach, like I've
Mhm.
never seen just results happening every single day in this work, and it's just like
Yeah.
mind blowing. Oh my gosh, money is coming out from over here and this, and then I'm also like, and also the results that are also important. Yes, money is great.
Mhm.
Obviously I've called it money breathwork for a reason. I want you to make more money. But the results are tenfold, right? In
Yeah.
relationships with partners and themselves and healing like childhood traumas. And that's what breath work does
Mm.
inherently. So like I always say, I created money breathwork because I, love business and I love business strategy and I love talking about money and getting clients and growing your
Mm.
business and
Mhm.
growing freedom, right? But
Yeah.
if this is the thing that gets you to do breath work, I'm so grateful, right? Like, because the more people doing breath work on this planet means a better
Mm.
planet, right? Breath work in
Yeah.
itself is going to change your life. Now, my breath work particular is focused on changing your business as well, but
Yeah.
both get to happen. And so results, yes, I talk about money a lot, but like every single person who is doing this work with me,
Mm.
are their lives are getting better. Their chronic pain is going away. Their
Wow.
relationships are getting better. They're, opening themselves up to other opportunities, right?
Mhm.
And it's just has its reach not just in money in your bank account and your business, but
Mhm.
like just making your life better. I mean, isn't that the best?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the best thing ever. Amazing. So I asked this to everyone who comes on the show, and I'm curious to know your answer. So for you, what does it mean to be a powerful leader?
Oh, this is something that I have definitely been growing in.
Yeah.
I've actually played sports throughout my whole
Mhm.
life. I played softball in college and I was a two-time um captain, which actually doesn't happen a lot where a junior is a captain. And I was chosen to be a captain, and it's really interesting because years later, how many 20 years later, I don't know. I don't know how long, not 20 years, but 15 maybe. Um I keep analyzing my leadership
Mhm.
I was a
Yeah.
kid, right? I was 20, 21 years old. And I'm like, gosh, I wasn't the leader I wish I was today.
Mhm.
And so I feel like for me, becoming a powerful leader is all about being really that self actualization of really
Mm.
understanding who you are. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to say, tell my 20-year-old old self, like, know who you are, right? Because I'm 20 years old. But like, she was very, I feel like on the surface confident,
Yeah.
but like constantly feeling like she was not enough, or constantly feeling
Mm.
like people pleasing and worrying about
Mhm.
people liking her and not really standing up for something something, if something was, like really leading the team with like this vocal activation, not necessarily having to always be vocal, because I don't believe leaders always have to use their voice. I always said like I was a leader by example and people followed me because of my example. But I also am a very vocal person, as you can tell. And so I feel like leadership doesn't have to just be vocal, but vocal in the way of like really tapping into your quote unquote voice, right? You don't have to be loud, but you have to be connected to your voice, right? And so that has been the journey for me. A lot of the work I've done in Money Breathwork is to really find that voice and step into being that powerful leader. And it's really scary at times because people aren't going to like you, or you're going to say things that, ruffle some feathers, or you're going to, but I feel like doing this work and just, standing in your truth and continuing to do that, like that's where success happens. I think before I just wasn't connected to that. And that's why my business went up and down. I was wavering. I was looking at other people. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Versus like looking at myself and saying, how do I want to rise into leadership? How do I want to lead others? And then that's when, breathwork came through for me. So that's my answer.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. That's amazing. So I know people will want to go follow you, learn more about breathwork and your services. So let us know where they can go to do that.
Yes. So the best place to go to try Money Breathwork is moneybreathwork.com. So you can go to moneybreathwork.com. You can gain access to, I have a 5-module program that is called Money Breathwork, and you get access for it for 10 days to really dive in to what it looks like. I give you so much information of like what it looks like, why it works, how to do it. And you get access to 5 different modules, 5 different types of breath work, 5 different topics. It's really incredible. I mean, people are just getting massive results just from those 10 days. And so I want to give that to you so that you can go and try it out. Following me on Instagram, Alessandra Caprice is my Instagram handle. And then I also have a Facebook group called the Big Money Months Portal with Alessandra Caprice. So those are my kind of best places to hang out.
Yeah, get in that group. I'm in it and I love it.
Yes, I love it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It was so amazing talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Powerful Female Leaders podcast. If you love this episode, make sure to spread the message, leave a review, and subscribe. I would forever be grateful for you. I also want to hear from you, and I want to know your feedback and your questions for future episodes. So don't be shy, say hi, and send me a message at Powerful Female Leaders Podcast on Instagram. Until then, I'll see you on the next episode.